What's up guys, Casey Mattis here, and today I wanted to go over some of the equipment we use to record the music and film the music videos. So I'll go ahead and give you a little tour of my studio here. This is where all the magic happens. So let's take a closer look here. One of the most important things in any studio is the computer used. A lot of people like to use Apple computers when doing music production. To be honest, my next computer will probably be an Apple product, probably one of the new Mac Pros, but for right now I'm kind of a Windows guy, so I have a PC Audio Labs computer, which is pretty sweet. It's a Windows computer specifically made for audio production, which is kind of cool. And then connected to that, I have the Focusrite Liquid Sapphire 56 for my audio interface, which is really sweet. It's got phantom power to every channel, so if you're separating your microphones out across a bunch of different channels, it's good for that. And then it's also got the liquid preamps in the first two channels, which you can kind of see on here. You can switch to have a bunch of different kind of sounds, kind of tones to them for your microphones, which is really handy. Connected up to my audio interface, I have my microphones over here. For vocals, I use the Bluebird. For acoustic guitar and shaker and tambourine, I use this Audio-Technica down here. Probably saw my beautiful electric guitar over here. It's actually the first electric guitar I ever had. She's a beaut, to say the least. And then this is the acoustic guitar that I use for most of my recording. And then right behind me is my M-Audio Keystation 88. It's a MIDI keyboard, so you can run anything through it, any program, which is really nice, but I really only use the Sony Vox 88, which has really awesome piano sounds, and it's a nice keyboard for that. This is what I use for most of my, most of the sounds like strings and that sort of thing, is the Akai MPK Mini. It's really nice to have just directly in front of me, so when I'm working I don't have to even move. I can just, it's all right here, which is nice. Right next to that I have a couple PreSonus products. This is the fader port, which is really nice. It has the automatic fader, which is great for just getting the right mix in there. And then the monitor station, which I used to have more than one pair of speakers. Right now I just have a pair of Yamaha monitors. I used to have a couple different monitors to choose from on here, and then you can switch between speaker A, speaker B. However, we move around, and so I had to kind of consolidate on room. And so now I'm down to the one set of monitors. I also have a couple of headphones plugged into here so that when I have somebody coming in to record vocals, I can also listen to it myself, which is awesome. Of course, you have the Casey Mattis EP available on iTunes and Spotify. So now I'll hand you over to T so she can show you some of the equipment we use to film the music videos.
What's up guys, Teresa Mattis here with Casey Mattis Music, TKM Productions, and Focus on What Mattis. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of some of my equipment today. I'll go into more detail and go into more depth, show you more equipment and all that good stuff in a later video. But for today, let's do this. Alright, so here's my lovely workstation. It's temporary until we get that studio built. I've got a MacBook Pro, I've got some Bose headphones, my wireless mouse, an iPad, and a couple backup drives. As far as software goes, I use the Adobe Creative Suite. My favorite program within it is definitely After Effects. I do all of my video editing within Premiere Pro. As far as photo editing goes, I use Lightroom, and Photoshop is fantastic. Illustrator I use to design our logo. And I always use Encoder for exporting just about anything. So I'll start off with my favorite piece of equipment here. This is my Canon 5D Mark III, and mounted on it I have a Canon 35mm lens. It's the L series lens. I love this. It stays on my camera, I don't know, 90% of the time, and this 5D, oh my gosh, I couldn't recommend it more. It is beautiful. I've got 3 other Canon L series lenses. This is my 16 to 35mm. That's a really good lens for wide angles, landscapes, This is my 85 millimeter. It's a great portrait lens, really cool close-ups with Casey in the videos. It's got a lot of great bokeh that it just gives this really cool look to the videos that I film or the pictures that I take. This is my 70 by 200. I don't really use it for music videos as much, but that's because I am usually really close to my subject. This is my Canon 70D. Mounted on it, I have a Canon 35 millimeter. That's the first 35 millimeter that I actually got before I invested in my L series lenses. It's a great, cheaper option for that focal length. I definitely recommend that lens for someone on a budget. But the 70D is what I filmed probably 80% of the videos that we have up on our YouTube channel with. This is my Canon Rebel T5i. On it, I've got mounted a Rokinon fisheye lens. I use this camera as a backup. I actually started out with a Nikon camera, upgraded to this camera, and then from there I upgraded to the 70D and then the 5D Mark III. So this is just kind of in my backlog. Alright, so over here I've got my iPhone that I plug into the Beats pill or my Bose speaker. I actually started out with my Beats pill and it worked really well for a long time, but Casey and I actually blew the speakers out. We were blasting the music so loud through the speaker. So I don't know if I'd really recommend it compared to this Bose speaker. This is a really great investment. I really love this speaker. This is my Manfrotto quick release plate. I couldn't recommend getting one of these more, especially if you're doing video work with a glide cam or a jib. It is like 50 bucks, small investment, and it really makes life a lot easier when you are filming and you're trying to, mount your camera really quickly. So I definitely recommend this. I have actually quite a few of these. Right now I'm filming on a GoPro Hero 4 Black, and so I've got just a couple different mounts that I use. I use the head mount quite a bit, and this is really cool for music videos. You can clamp it to anything. We use this on our 7 Years cover to mount the GoPro to the end of Casey's guitar. I've got my Go Scope, which is great for getting a really awesome point of view with my GoPro camera. It's a really good selfie stick. I definitely recommend it. This is my Manfrotto 055 tripod. It is a very heavy-duty tripod. I ended up getting a tripod that was like 50 bucks, and I put my really nice heavy-duty equipment onto the tripod, and my worst fear happened. The tripod couldn't hold the weight, and now I've actually got a big dent in my really nice 70 by 200 lens. So I definitely recommend getting a tripod that can hold the weight of your equipment and a really cool, ball head of some kind for your tripod. These are really important when you're filming. This is my Manfrotto monopod. I invested in this recently because I really needed something that I could quickly set up that would give me a stable shot. It's really smooth, it's really quick to set up as compared to a tripod. And last but not least, I've got my GlideCam HD 2000. This is such a great piece of equipment. I actually have been watching a lot of tutorials. I taught myself how to film and edit and photograph and do everything that I need to do for my business and for YouTube through YouTube tutorials. And one of my favorite YouTubers is Devin Graham, or Devin Supertramp. He's got so many amazing videos. So I saw that he was using a GlideCam in his behind the scenes videos. So I was like, oh man, I really want to get those smooth shots that Devin's getting. So I invested, and I've had this for, I don't know, at least 3 years now. Still works great. I'm going to be investing in another one very soon. Really just gives that smooth shot that you're looking for. So definitely look into GlideCams.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new here, we have a new video every Tuesday, so make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next week.